Okay, well, let's see. What do we got? Speaker, show on stage. That's not working. Let me see. How do I switch to that? Show on stage. No. Good morning. No. Wait. I think we've got a. Nope, that's different. No. How do we? Group discussion. This one? There we go. That's better.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah. Finally. Hey. Hello.
I don't know what happened. This StreamYard stuff is way above my pay grade. I'm not smart enough to figure out how to do that. But, good morning. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. It's not morning for me though. It's almost evening. So we're speaking from different parts of the Earth.
And I people don't know. Hold on, I'm going to switch my camera here. Let me see if that works. Okay, I don't know if it'll work. Actually, never mind. It's fine. Yeah, you're in Western Europe, and I am in San Francisco in the States, and I was very. I'm still very ashamed that I slept right through. We were supposed to hang out. You're my friend. You were nice to me and invited me, and I had such bad jet lag. I was just in the part of the world that you're in, and we were going to hang out, and I slept right through it. I slept through the whole day, basically.
It's good. It's good. I'm jealous with that because if I had a chance to sleep one day, entire day through, I would take my chance.
Anyway, I would not have. I would have taken that time to hang out. I'm really sorry, but anyway, that's all I'm saying. It's good to see you again online, even though I really wish we could have hung out a few weeks ago.
Yeah, but we will have a chance, right, during the upcoming conference.
Yeah.
In June, in the beginning of June.
Oh, there's another one in Amsterdam, right?
In Amsterdam.
Also, I think we're going to hang out. Are we going to see each other in Barcelona?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, good. It's night in India. Well, good evening to you. I'm sorry, I forgot. Good night, good evening, good afternoon, good morning.
Yeah, it's kind of unusual that people have different times, right? You live in your time, and you don't even understand that others they have a different part of the day at the moment.
Well, I do, but I get that most people maybe don't.
I do when I'm traveling. Yeah. I'm doing it when I'm traveling.
Oh, we got some good news here. Hopefully this goes well. Good luck. So hard.
Let's see. Yeah. We're definitely gonna discuss today this junior thing.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. So yeah, first of all, before we get too far down the road, who are you? What do you do? That kind of stuff.
I'm Aleksey. I work for Jetbrains, and I'm running IntelliJ IDEA, more focused on Kotlin and Java.
Yeah.
And was all AI stuff that comes into our lives. So I'm in charge for the ID. so it's up and running.
Okay, that's it's that ID.
One of them. Yeah. One of them who are in charge.
It's an amazing piece of software that IntelliJ. Hello, welcome, good morning. And so you just released a new release, right? 2025.1.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That's what I'm saying. I pay. I have access to Sergey. There's my buddy. We'll see him. This is Sergey, the brilliant member of the community, teacher, instructor, and of course, relevant to this context, the founder of the amazing Spring I/O conference. It used to be Madrid, now it's in Barcelona. Yeah. And so we'll see him in a few weeks, I guess.
I just bought tickets yesterday, so it's definitely going to be there.
Yeah, I cannot wait. So we'll see. You and I are going to be seeing each other in Amsterdam at the what is that? What is it? It's a Jetbrains thing, right? What's it called?
It's going to be an IntelliJ IDEA conference.
Yeah,
it was offline for both for attendees and for speakers, but now for speakers it's going to be offline. Wait. So we invite all the speakers, but for attendees it's still an online event.
Oh, okay. So I'll see you.
We're slightly moving. Yes, we're slightly moving to the state when we can have everybody on board in our office. Our office is large, but not that large.
Yeah, nice. Okay. Ooh, look at this. I've been using Junie. Whoa, wow, that's pretty. Like, it must be pretty good if people are willing to go on YouTube and like try
Yeah,
things out.
yeah.
I'm not very smart, so I haven't tried it on a YouTube stream yet, but I will. I think maybe today's the day. You know. Hi, hello, good morning, good afternoon. So, oh wait, let me see. Did we already get this comment? Thank you, JetBrains. I also work on .NET, and now you guys release non-commercial versions of Radar. Thanks, please. A great thanks. Please do some same for PHP Storm. Well, you know, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's your favorite, right?
Well,
PHP.
If I had to use PHP, and I don't, but if I did, I would use PHP Storm. It's pretty good for.
Thank you.
For that. Anyway, so you just released this new release. Also, I mean, it's like Christmas for me. You know, I open up JetBrains Toolbox, and every icon is like, "We got new updates for you," and I just hit update all. Come back 20 minutes later, and I have new toys to play with. One of the features that I've been waiting for, there's a million, but the one that I noticed immediately was that now, if you do, if you reference a bean if you reference a bean anywhere in a class, IntelliJ will automatically insert. It'll create a constructor and it'll create a private final variable and do constructor injection to inject that thing for you. And now, if you have a non-public class, the constructor won't be public, which is perfect. Yes.
Yeah, that's your feature, by the way.
That's my favorite.
I mean, like you I mean, like you invented it, right? You reported it to us, so we didn't have a chance to just pass through.
Well, but that's the nice thing about you all is that it's not just me. I mean, there's this huge queue of like features that people request.
Yeah. Like every feature, if every feature is somebody's feature, right?
Right, exactly. It's it just have to be a little patient, and things get done really quickly. Actually, it's we talked about this late last year, and it's already live. You know. Okay, so I was hoping we could just look at some of the cool features. You want to give us a tour? Is that okay with you? I mean, I know it's late in the day, and you've had a long day.
I just. Yes. Let me. By the way, we did a little experiment. I just came from DevVox conference, and there I asked like many people a question: how many swipes of iPhone 16 Pro Max you actually need to swipe through entire What's New?
Oh yeah. No, it's what is it? 5, 10?
What would it be? 38. So you're able to read every part. So we're not gonna obviously touch every feature, but we're gonna speak just maybe a few of them. Let me share a screen.
So where do people register for this IntelliJ conference, by the way?
Where? On the website.
Okay.
On the website. You better ask ChatGPT. It knows better than me, actually.
Hi, Ruben.
So. First of all, big AI shift. Now AI moved to our free versions, like paid versions. All product spec now includes subscription for AI assistant. But probably the biggest thing is Junie, and it's a big saver for me, and I believe for other people who are required to do lots of different demos, right? And shuffle different technologies in the same, today you're working with GPA, tomorrow you're working with GDBC, it's going to be Mapstruct, or it's going to be Model Mapper, it's going to be Flyway or Liquibase, and you need to have billions of demos. And now you don't need to. You can just ask Junior to develop it, and that's how I mostly used it. It's an agent. It's an agent that helps you to prepare at least demos, but actually it works for real applications. And that's how it looks like. We can ask Junie to do something, and this application fully developed by Junie, by the way.
Now,
you
know who showed me this? This is Marit. She's one of your teammates, and
sure.
Showed me this. Really cool. I saw the early access stuff like a little while ago before it was like available for everybody. This is amazing.
Yeah, it is. And in terms of, I mean, like you can steer it. Unlike other kind of like AI things, you can actually steer it. So, for example, you can say, now we are only looking into tests because I'm a test-driven developer, and we're gonna like create tests and create stubs for API that tests call, and then it just like create stubs and throw exceptions, and it will do exactly what you ask. So actually you steer it. As I today wrote it on LinkedIn, finally I have like a partner for pair programming. Finally, after many years. You remember it was extreme programming in the beginning of 2000s, and they required this pair programming. Finally, it's on board. And
it's arrived actually,
yeah. So, for example, we can right now ask something to it. So it's an application medical catalog. We have something. We have security here. See, I asked it to arrange by domains, not by layers, but inside every layer to create domains.
I noticed that. Thank you.
Yes, and well, the thing is that I just realized that it behaves better when your code is like domain structured. So like AI understands this better. So if we speak about monolith, I double my bet on it.
Yeah,
now, because,
let's go.
Yeah, because that's how your program should look like, so AI can capture it properly. And
also for humans to understand better, it's better if you do that. It's just better for everybody. There's no reason to do.
Yeah, exactly. But better for people, better for AI.
Right.
That's the point. One another thing is that AI can make your bad code base even worse, or your good code base even better. So
it would be
really
very hard to my code. It's already bad enough. It's very hard to make worse.
So yeah, we can actually go and ask this thing to do something, but generally generated tasks, because I asked for that. You can see like it's a pretty standard application with REST controllers, no UI. We can ask to generate UI. For example, let's examine the application. Let's run something actually. Let's run some tests. We have word was that it's a mapper test, a controller test. Let's go to controller test and see what actually it did for us. It provided quite standard tests, which are good, and it will call what? It will call items ID. Let's go to items ID. It's gonna be somewhere. No. It's not here. Was gonna call? It's gonna call. It's gonna call. Where's that? Yeah, mapping. Probably it's gonna put mapping here. So we can drop. We can drop. What's that?
Is it a put or a get?
It can be whatever. Let's see. It's get. So yeah, it's get. It's not put. Let's find a get mapping for. Is it for items? Yes, it is items, and now we need to find a get mapping. Let's go here. Let's see the endpoints. By the way, the logical structure. It was delivered in the previous release, but it helps in this case. Really helps. So we see delete, we see get. So yeah, here we are. And let's go back, and finally run the test. Let's go and debug the test. And you can be sure that it works. So actually, Junie needed quite a few runs of the tests it actually wrote because first all the tests that it wrote failed in the beginning. So it needed like quite a few iterations. But you need to watch out what this thing is doing, because it's actually pair programming. You can find some certain spots that can be developed like in a better way, and then you just tell it, and then it just listens to you and recreate the code in that part. So yeah, here we go. See, and the first thing that we delivered in this release is an ability. For example, if we go and say, I want this to be in evaluation, right? Got it, enter. Where is that? It's Java, yes. So I just cannot see it for some reason. Whatever, let's put 1.
Okay.
So, L, right? Yeah, here we go. Yes, this is the result. We can actually now pose the expressions. So sometimes it makes sense to not actually calculate variables that you have here in watches. for the reason to avoid whatever side effect. And this feature also came from the real life. I remember I was just testing an application with Hibernate, and then put lots of different breakpoints and added to watches some certain like expression that actually calls a list of like one to many relation, one to many reference. And then actually, and then I just like developed everything. Everything worked, and then I ran my tests, and they failed. And I started and I again ran it with debug, then jumped through all the breakpoints just to understand what goes wrong, and everything worked fine. Then I again ran it without debug, and it failed with lazy initialization exception. Then I started to investigate what actually happens. And what actually happened is that this expression evaluator actually called this reference and yes, evaluated it, and then Hibernate actually initialized all the proxies, because that piece of code was under transaction that I wasn't aware about. So that feature is quite useful. Now you can just like pause your watches if you want, if they create some side effects for you. Another thing for Spring developers, and let me tell what we are doing here. We are preparing for this one. You definitely worry about that one, right? I saw your reaction today.
I saw this one, yeah. And Anton, I can't wait to see this talk. Look, I have no doubt he's gonna do he's gonna run rings around me, and so I'm very curious to learn how to go faster myself, you know.
Yeah, and we are preparing actually him for this battle. How? You can ask how. We want him to be faster in any possible way. And if you release already, we are adding features that can help people be faster, getting to your speed. You know. So for example, if we go to the model and we create an entity saying like user details entity, and then it's going to be entity, and we're going to also have IntelliJ tells us that we need an attribute. Let it be no matter, that's enough. So we have this user details thing, right? And now we go to whatever, to service, to any service. Let's go to stock service. Then we come here and see like we only have this entity. So if we start just typing user details entity, it will also introduce us user details repository. It doesn't exist yet, right? But that's how we want to speed up Anton to get closer to your speed of coding, right? And now you just need to choose, I want this to be backed by GPA repository, for example. And then you need to create a method. You need to create an actual query. We have only one field there. Unfortunately, we can add more. But what we can do now is just start creating our query right from here. So we can go find by, and then ID between, and then we can even choose what method we actually want. Would it be long, or
none of this existed, right? This is all just it's predictive.
Yeah,
wow.
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. It existed, but before you needed to go to the repository itself. So you needed to go here and start typing here, find, by, and so on and so forth. But why do you actually need this move? So we are trying to eliminate as many moves as possible to make Anton as fast as you. ID containing long and pageable. Here we go. See? And actually it created the method.
Oh my goodness, this is so cool. That is so cool. It's ahead of me. It's moving at the speed of my next thought. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was the initial idea.
So is this like, so there's a question from a few demos ago. I wanted to just register here. Will this Junie stuff replace IntelliJ AI Assistant? What's the...
No, these are different. Assistant, to me, I'm gonna say how it looks to me. Assistant is a new way to serve the internet. So basically how it was before, you go to the internet, you find the piece of code that is like close enough to the problem that you're trying to solve. You copy and paste it, and then you highly polish it in your source code, so you cannot see the edges between the copied code and source code, right? And the code that was yours.
Right.
Now AI assistant is just streamlining this certain process. It goes to the internet for you, and then it's highly polishing edges for you. It tries, at least.
And it has the
This
full
is an AI assistant.
Wow,
And
okay.
Junie is a different thing. It's actually your partner. So, for example, let's remove this one. Let's remove repository from here. Let's go stock service and fix the bug, and just ask something to Junie. So, for example, I noticed that it created a few options in the controllers where you can suck in infinite number of records.
Wow.
For example, if we go to controller, and item controller, you're gonna find a method that calls find all. See, like item service find all. So theoretically, it can be entire database behind, right?
Right. Did you see this comment here?
Your presentation works with through them. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yes. You're very welcome. Next time, Barcelona, then
yes,
online. Yes, and I'm in Amsterdam, but there's going to be online. There's going to be offline for you and me, right? Let's ask it to do so. Let's say, Junie, I want API or controllers to have no methods where client can fetch unlimited number of records, right? Just use pageable.
So, Aleksey, we got a legendary James Ward in the chat. He's asking if we've looked at the new experimental terminal stuff, and we should definitely do that.
Yeah. I'm sure that we're gonna have time left, but yeah, we will try. So see, like it's planning, and best part is that you can actually read what it does. You say, then I start with identifying all controls in the project that have methods returning unlimited records. Yeah, that's smart.
Right.
Let's see what it does. It searches for all classes with controller suffix. Then it gets structure, has been examined, revealing a method that returns an unlimited list of records. The next step is to modify this method to use a pageable parameter and update the return type accordingly. It started getting structures, so it's working. It's actually working now. It's actually working really similar to a normal developer. I would just go same steps. For each controller, it's gonna like perform the steps. Now it's bothering itself. You see like this little smile rotating. Junie bothering itself with this particular item at the moment. Modify these methods to use pageable. Let's see what actually is doing. And right on the go, we will be able to see how it changes code. See, like this +3 thing. You can tap on it. I use now an unified viewer here, but you can see that it added like some imports. Then we can see like item repository that it added also also few methods, find by category, find by manufacturer, and so on and so forth. I don't know why it needs it for, but we're gonna see in that.
Wow.
See, like again, it creates methods in service layer to propagate to the persistence layer in item service. Also item repository. Yeah, I showed it already. Now we remove 13 lines of code and exchange them. Now we have get all items pageable, and see like this vulnerable. Let's say it vulnerable get all items mapping. Was deleted. Now we have this get all items mapping with pageable param. Same, pretty much the same happens in item controller. See, It makes sure that no endless results are actually possible. And yeah, we can wait until the end, but see what it says. Update the task to reflect the changes. Verify changes by running tests. It will run tests. It will see the result of the test, and it will try to fix tests. But honestly saying, sometimes you really need to watch what it does. So it's not like, it's not the thing when you become like a manager and you say you do that. The thing that I only need is the result. It will solve the problem. Sometimes it fixes tests instead of source code.
Just like with math, you show your work. I want to see how you got to the result. That's actually, it inspires more confidence in the final solution.
Yes. And yeah, just yesterday I was playing with that, and it was some problem in build Gradle. For some reason, it didn't realize that I don't have this test implementation or test annotation processor for Mabstract, and it decided just for a test scope to create a bin with all the implementation for order mapper. It can happen, so you need to be it generates tons of tests. And 99% of it, maybe 95, I don't know, I never counted, actually good. But then you need to, still you are in charge for the end result. It's not the machine. Sure. But what I like about it is that I'm so happy when I see that thing doing something wrong. Every time I'm happy because I know that tomorrow I'm going to keep my job or one longer day. That's amazing. That's amazing that we see mistakes and we can find them, because it means that we still are required in this industry. That's amazing. That's amazing.
I think the most useful application of AI is in that orchestrator sort of that perspective of I know what the finish line looks like and I know how I want to get there. If you can automate some of that for me, great. But at the end of the day, I want to be able to.
Yeah. That's the point. I mean, like, you cannot say that it's like what they say about vibe coding is when you actually don't care about like these letters, right? You just say, do it for me, it returns the result, and you're happy with the result. It's not about that. And I was playing around with quite large code bases just to see how it behaves. And as I said previously, if you have well-structured code, for example, it's with clear boundaries, with this bounded context, then it behaves way better. Therefore, as I said, I double my bet on monolith. Also, microservices also work quite good if you keep them concise. Yeah, whatever tests you don't want to write, Junie is generating them.
Hey,
so let's see how it finishes.
We got a request from the audience here. Can we go dark mode?
Yes, we can go dark.
I use the auto mode. I synchronize. So if it's daytime in my day, then my IDE is in light mode. And if it's nighttime, it goes into dark mode.
Appearance. It is an appearance, right?
Yeah. You got sync with OS, so you just turn that off, and it'll be dark for you soon, anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is this fine enough?
Yeah, I guess so. Whoa. Okay, that's better.
Does it?
Yeah.
That's better.
Okay. There you go.
You know what we're gonna see in the next comment? Can you please make it again?
Light. Yeah. Can't win. Oh, well.
And then we're gonna change again, and so on and so forth. And then we just spend an hour.
We just got that comment. No.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So it will be, by the way.
So what we just saw was you need to ask it to do something big. It wrote out all the steps, and then it sort of walked you through those different steps as it implemented them, and it gave you the chance to revert it, to do it again, and to judge for yourself whether it was successful or not, right?
Yes, in every step. And I mean, like, you can steer it on the way, because you can follow up it. For example, within the same task, you can say, yes, you did it like that, but I actually wanted to use long block, but not for entities, for example. For entities, I don't want to use it, but for services, it's fine if I just use, for example, required args constructor. So yeah, you can actually steer it. See, like, it started to launch tests. See, like, and one test failed. Let's see what it does now to fix the test.
Right. Okay.
So it behaves like a normal developer. That's what I like about it. I like things when I see
Oh
it
boy.
and it makes sense for me. Like what it does, it makes sense. By the way, that was the reason why I did 3 decisions in my life. I never looked back after that. Never had regrets. Switched from Eclipse to IntelliJ, switched from Java EE to Spring, and got divorced. It does better. So this change from Java EE to Spring was a very significant thing for me, because I went to the source code and I was like, wow, I would do the same thing. I would solve the same problem in exactly the same way. So it was very clear for me in the source code, and I felt really comfortable with that. Same with
Good.
Juni. I see what it does, and it's like, yeah, that plan makes sense. Yes, this step makes sense. Yes, this solution makes sense. This doesn't, and I tell it, this solution, I don't think that it's a good way to solve some certain problem, and then it just like moves the way I want it to go.
We've got a question here. For professional work, code privacy is a concern. Does Juni send code to the internet?
Like all of us, do we send code to the internet? Some pieces obviously go to Claude, to LLMs that work under the hood, but we don't store the code. That's the thing. I mean, like, we just go like a request response, and that's it.
Let me see. Do you plan to add a preview feature before merging the code? Right now, it seems like the generated code is merged directly into existing one without any review.
Yes, but then you can actually revoke it.
Oh, okay.
If I play stop here, but my suggestion, always use version control systems.
Right.
That's a really nice invention. It changed. It entirely changed the way how we program.
Big fan.
But yes, but yes, generally you can revert it, and also if you use VCS, then you are fully safe. You can go back to any point you want. Yeah, that's all I can tell about it. Any other question we have?
Nothing so far. Just making sure. Always always commit before starting Juni. That's fair. Yeah, just keep just think of it like
Before and after.
Yeah. Think of it like working on a branch. Except that you're gonna have some help. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, feature branch is a good also is a good advice in this way.
Right. Okay. So next feature. So the Juni stuff is good, but I don't want to spend the entire time on that because there's so much other good stuff.
Yeah, there are some certain features that I work with databases a lot, and these are really important for me. And there are some improvements there. We can. I haven't prepared a demo actually because I was traveling today from Devox to Amsterdam, so it was a bit like a problem for me.
Does Juni recommend the code optimizations to improve performance of the application?
You know what? We actually yes. I have to say yes, but you need to ask about that. I just gonna give a little story. There was a guy on this Devox France who came and said, like, I had a real problem where I had a real task where I needed to compare it to JSONs. I was like, yeah, that's a fairly easy thing. And we generated a quite simple code with Juni that can show you like a diff. Presence in the first file, and there is no same line in the right file, and so on and so forth. And then he said, yeah, but there is a complication. These files can be up to 4 gigabytes. And I was like, okay. And we asked Juni to do something with that. And you know what? It completely changed the implementation for that, because it stopped using recursion. It like moved to stack implementation. Then it introduced like stream readers. Then it doesn't treat JSON any longer like a number of strings. It created a full graph of it, and so on and so forth. And then it even wrote the tests, and the test was quite smart. It generated like a big JSON and then randomly made the changes. so it can test all the different types of kind of like differences between two JSONs. And it ran the test, and the test took us like hour. I actually, after 1 hour, I stopped it and I said, like, no way, we just cannot wait that long. Can you please optimize it in terms of like how fast the test goes? And Junie said, yes, let's examine the code if it can be parallelized, if it can be hit by multi-threading. And then it used multi-threading, and the execution went down like quite significantly. We were able to see the result of the test in 20 minutes. Then we said, you know what, you can use Java 24 or whatever, any version of Java. Can you please get maximum from virtual threads? And it did the job. So after a few rounds of the optimizations, actually we managed to this test to run within like maybe 7 minutes, something like that. So if it's your yeah, I mean, it's like you just speak to it. It's not like this thing Junie does all the job. If you task it properly, it will do the thing. If you don't do that, it's still your responsibility.
You know what we should do? We should get the let's. I wonder if we could do the 1BRC challenge. You know, the 1 billion row.
Yeah. Actually, Anton also Anton Arkhipov also mentioned about that, but we didn't try. But yeah, we could.
That'd be a great. Like, I wonder if they could, if you could prompt it into getting to the results that are as fast as Thomas Wertinger's 1.5 second. You know.
Yeah. But if it's published on the internet, then it can just find a solution and present it as its own solution, right?
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't be fair because it can search internet.
Well, let's present the problem to it without telling it it's the 1BRC challenge. Like, here's 13 gigs of text. Write a program without using libraries or frameworks or anything to load this into compute the mean and median and exit. You know, let's see how it does. I bet it does a pretty good job.
Yeah, but we can take a look at it even right now if you want.
No, another day. But okay, because there's so much to cover. I don't want to like. I love Junie. Oh, by the way, there's another question here. I don't know if you have time to take it, but could you show how to add a custom policy to Junie? I don't know what that means.
Yes, sure. I did it actually. There is a .Junie folder. You can create it if you don't have it. Then you go to guidelines, and in these guidelines, you actually can specify what you want. So I did a project overview. Actually, I asked Junie to generate that file at first. Junie can work without this file. Then I took a look into it and said, like, use this GTK and so on and so forth. So to run a test, use this and so on and so forth. So basically, these are rules that Junie will take over other rules. So it's a guidelines MD file in .Junie folder. So you go create, and in a regular MD format, just put whatever you want. For example, the best practices here, I say about that I'm gonna use a flyway thing. Don't modify existing migrations, create new ones, because once I saw it tried to do so, and I was like, no, you cannot. And I just came here and added the policy so it doesn't it doesn't repeat again.
Flyway is supposed to be an immutable record.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing that I thought would be great if we go to Spring Initializer and we generate a new application, and you guys could put like all the best practices you encounter as good practices for Spring right in that folder. So when people just start their application, it can be different, right? You have different set of frameworks, you get different best practices in this file. For GP, it's one thing. For Spring Data GDBC, it's another thing. For MVC, it's one thing. For normal controllers, for REST controllers, it can be different, and so on and so forth. So that could be something where we could work together.
That would be interesting, very interesting. I'm Yeah, that's very interesting indeed. Let's see.
Yeah, let's go ahead. There were some what do you think should be? I wasn't able to read it.
Oh, it's me asking. Should we include a best practices.juni guidelines MD file to the audience?
Yeah, got it. I did notice that actually it was you. I started to read it immediately, and then it disappeared. Regarding other notable changes, K2 Kotlin K2 mod. So it's a new. It's a new mod. Actually, it was already turned on by default in EAP versions before we made it stable in December last year. In December, we made it stable. We know that 20% of EAP users used it. We understand that it's quite some job needs to be done to provide better quality of it, but it's from our perspective, it already good to be turned on by default. How you can see that K2 mode is enabled? You can see like this little Christmas tree. If there is a Christmas tree, then you're saving energy. Because we think that this implementation going to be faster in many ways and will require less computing power and so on and so forth. But yeah, okay, that's the new K2 mod. It will in this K2 mod we're going to support Anton. Anton is here. Anton, you were already in the live stream. With this K2 mod, no new functions, only the new language features support. Like it's going to be Kotlin, like for example, 2.5, and by then, all new language feature support will be adopted only in this K2 in this K2 mod. K1 mod stays on the surface. We still support it because we understand that it will require for probably for some companies. They will encounter some certain bugs and we will need some time to fix it. Whatever you find doesn't work for you, please contact us. We're really keen to make it up and running and make the K2 mod bringing this Kotlin support to the next level. That's very important for us.
Love it.
Yeah, that's a very big thing that we finally delivered. It was an effort of a big team, and it lasted how long? Like 3 years, up to 5 years, to 5 years, I believe.
And so, if people want to talk to you and report issues, by the way, where do they go? Is that jetbrains.com? Something I don't know. What
U-Truck. You go to U-Truck. You go straight to U-Truck. You come here and start U-Truck jetbrains.com, and here you file your issues.
Okay. Oh, U-Track.jetbrains.com issues. Okay, there you go. So
yeah, you can just Google IntelliJ issues where to post them. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. You're very welcome to post the problems you face with, and we will do our best to deliver it at least same level of quality as K1, and then we will be able to improve it in terms of performance. And we have a really big hope that in terms of performance, we have a big room for improvement. With K1, we got stuck with performance. Now with performance improvements. Now it was a big refactoring of entire Kotlin support in IntelliJ, and now we have quite some room for that.
Yeah, awesome. So good.
James, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Then whatever we supported. By the way, go ahead.
James was a former product manager for Kotlin at Google, right? So the fact that he's excited is a good sign for all of us.
Yes. Then we supported this logical structure for Liquibase. Unfortunately, this project we don't have Liquibase, but we support logical structure for Liquibase. By the way, do you use logical structure? I do. I use it frequently to better understand what my project does.
Yes. In the IDE, yes, I do. Yeah.
So now this thing also available for Liquibase.
Oh, super good. I love Liquibase. I love Flyway. Both of them. Do you have support for Flyway? I don't know why you would. How would that work? It's just files.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's not there, right?
Yeah.
Also, there were some promises for VSL for Windows users, and most of our users are still Windows users, so we take a look at it quite cautiously. I would say that, and of course, Kotlin notebooks,
Another question.
How could I forget about it?
Is there a limit in terms of the size of the context that Junie cannot get over?
I don't know for sure, but I saw quite a few tweets where people said that they went over the size of the context. So I don't know it for sure. I don't know the size, but I saw people yelling about that. So the answer is yes, probably yes, but I don't exactly know the number of the number of like bytes in the context.
And maybe that's a sign
or gigabytes.
Microservices. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. Or monolith. Monolith would also work because like this inbound content. Any DDD actually representation would work. Microservices can also be terrible. By the way.
I know, but I mean, if you have too big, if the code base is too big, then you need microservices, not monolith, right? Because the monolith is size code, just restructured. Yeah, great comment. By the way, James is joining us from Costa Rica, so the fact that he's hanging out that's super good. Lots of people worked on that on the K2 stuff. To see it integrated like this is awesome.
Kotlin notebooks. Notebooks support finally delivered to both community and ultimate versions. Now you can go and create a Kotlin notebook. There is a secret feature that George knows about. I showed the prototype of it in Devoxx Belgium probably last year, when you can use both Kotlin notebooks with running Spring applications. This is still under construction because we need to make it nicer. For now, we just deliver these Kotlin notebooks things, and now you can just create a Kotlin notebook right here. So you can come here, and where is that? No, Kotlin. For some reason I don't have. It.
Wait, you're not.
But this.
Are you ready? 2025.1. No,
yes, I do have. I do have 25.1, but it's actually build of sources. This IntelliJ IDEA. I'm in the office right now, so I build it from sources.
Of course you are. Okay, so let's see. You've got Ktor. Let's see.
Yes. Install plugin, manage plugins. Let's find it. Like notebooks. Kotlin notebooks bundled. Yes.
Okay.
Kotlin notebooks are bundled. Why cannot we just create a Kotlin notebook? It's hard to say. Let's remove it from here. Let's just open the welcome screen and see. Yeah, here we go. Here we can create a Kotlin notebook. It can be created in Scratch or in folder, as a Scratch file or in folder. We go and create it. And here we can actually use a Kotlin notebook. Val equals 5, and then run it. So and AI actually works also here. Kotlin notebooks, it's kind of like a smart calculator for me, honestly. The other day I got a CSV file. Let's try to solve this problem, by the way. I have CSV file, and I want it to be presented as a number of JSONs. Let's see what code it will generate for us. See, it uses data frame, which is the right thing, and it generates you a piece of code that can actually transfer your CSV file to a set of JSONs to copy and paste them into sources, for example. So that's just a smart calculator. Whenever you need to create a script that you need just once per your life, maybe twice, maybe 5 times. But it's not a part of the project. It's not a part of the project. You need to parse something. You need to modify something. You need to mutate something, so on and so forth. I encourage you to start using Kotlin notebooks. These are the same as Python notebooks, but a language I prefer better. I believe it's going to be more smoother for any Java developer, and it's going to be just a piece of cake for any Kotlin developer. So yeah, now Kotlin notebooks are here. You're welcome to use them. By the way, we forgot to check what Juni did for us there, unfortunately. But I hope it was all fine.
I'm sure it was.
No, I'm gonna take a look next time. I would say that these are the main highlights. There are many like smaller improvements in Kotlin and main KTS. We delivered some improvements in Bazel, and Bazel plugin grows for Java Kotlin. It works quite well already.
Are there a lot of people using Bazel? Like this is the build plugin inspired by Google, right? The
yeah. Yes,
really?
yes. But not a lot of people. Just answer the question: if a lot of people actually use mono repos more than like 60 gigabytes.
Yeah,
not many. Not many, but they also need to somehow manage their code base, right?
Yeah, I guess. That's, and then what about Pants? Do you support the Pants equivalent, or is it just Bazel?
It's just Bazel for the moment. And we're gonna expand it also. There was all Google support. Now we introduced new support by Jetbrains, but we only cover for now Java and Kotlin, and we will also introduce support for our other languages soon. As I remember, we had a plan to support them by the end of the year, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, there are like other minor improvements, but the major ones that you probably can start working with already today, I showed them to you. Also for database tools, there are quite improvements. For example, now you can lazy load data in cells. So before, if you have like a big data in a cell, it was you couldn't load it like cell by cell, and for the sake of time, we obviously delivered just like an elapsed part at the beginning of the data, and now you can tap on it and download the rest detail of the data, no matter how large it is. By the way, for debugger, there is another nice feature that for inline debugger, if you have JSON or XML files, if you now put a mouse over it and you tap on it, you're gonna see like a pop-up with properly pre-printed insights, and not like a lengthy string that doesn't allow you to understand what's actually is in the variable. That's also a very nice one.
Yeah.
So these are probably majors.
Yeah, huge features. Well, that's awesome. Kotlin notebooks and all the data analytics that are possible now in a language that people are familiar with. That's awesome.
Yes. That's really cool. That's really cool. I started to use Kotlin notebooks last year, and I got quite addicted. So be careful. If you don't want to be addicted to anything, never try.
Cool. Okay. Any other major features we should be talking about in JetBrains IntelliJ IDEA 2025.1? I mean, this is a whole new release train, right? Like this is a whole new major generation.
Yes, and we are cooking some features for Spring I/O, honestly. So they are somewhat ready, and we could deliver them, but we wanted to wait until Spring I/O and present them there.
Okay, no problem. We shall do another live stream then and there. Then, what are some of the
right
things
from there?
Yeah, that sounds like fun. Well, come see the talk first of all. I think that'll be fun if people are in the region. Hey, Sergey, are you still around? I wonder if is that talking to me recorded? I hope it is. Mike, are there any features that are across the whole platform, like to all, like WebStorm and JetBrains and
Sure. This database thing is obviously for everything. Then web development also is used in many different IDEs, not only web storing, but also Ruby and other IDEs. There is some improvements there. From what I remember, it's a better support for monorepos and some improvements for Angular. Yes, by the way, there is another feature for security analysis, and this becomes really important, right? Debugger and security analysis become really important ones in the era of AIs, because now code is cheap. You can generate code massively, but then you need to take care of that, right? There can be security vulnerabilities, they can be, and so on and so forth. And what we also delivered is in integration with Codana. You know Codana, right? It's a static analysis tool. And we delivered the way that you can check and find security vulnerabilities right in your code.
Oh, is that for everything? Is that for Jetbrains and for IntelliJ and for WebStorm and for everything else, or just or what?
I believe this one is specifically for IntelliJ, but when we started discussing it, I just recalled that in my mind. Version control system is obviously is the same everywhere, right?
Right. Well, so what do you think of data grip? Like I use that a fair bit. Data grip is because sometimes I just want to have a view of my database.
Yeah.
On which I'm working.
Yeah, I use data grip also. I better have many different windows for many different IDs than just trying to squeeze everything in one window. And even here, I often just move the tab on another screen. So we can move tabs here, and you can easily move tab like this, and then bring it to another screen. So you're able to see different pieces of code simultaneously on two screens. So yeah, this data grip is a source for us for new features. Whatever features they deliver in data grip, we just get them in upstream and then deliver to the users of IntelliJ. But I know that there are parties of people. There are people like me when I'm just trying to just to put everything in different window and bring it to all different screens and so on and so forth. But at the same time, I see people who prefer, and I would say they're a majority from my perspective, who want to have all the features, all the tabs concentrated in a single window.
Yeah, well, that does bring me to another question, which is, what can you tell us about Fleet? What's the story there? Is there, any new features I should know about?
If you know any new features of Fleet, please let me know.
Okay.
we can arrange a separate string about Fleet and its future. But I know that guys are still working on Fleet, and we do some certain kind of collaborations between teams. But honestly, I'm not hardly following their news.
Right. No, I get it. You're very heads down leading this giant effort. Well, this is really cool, man. I mean, this kind of stuff is, I love this idea. It feels a little bit. I don't know. I had some exceptions that were showing before that are gone now, and it just feels a little. It's just, I like it. It's a nice new IDE. It has some stability that it's always very stable, but it's even more stable now. So good job. Well done on this amazing release.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. So yeah, this logical structure is also something that we want to move further at a certain point, because see, it's not available for application properties, but we definitely have something to show here, right? At least group them nicely and then show the properties that are not presented in the file, because there are way more properties that are important for runtime, but we use their defaults without even any knowledge about what defaults are used, right? and it would be great if we could see them here. So we're also going to be investing in moving this logical structure over different file types to provide this kind of like more understanding of code, rather than more understanding of the sense of the idea of the file, of what it does, of its role, rather than just a structure of text in this text file.
I love it. Love it.
By the way, there is a structure here, see, and it's quite nice, I have to say, in this SQL file. See, like this is a new users, create table users. Then you can see all the fields and so on and so forth. So it's quite nice.
Yeah, it kind of, it's doing it from the source code. So you could look at the database connection and get similar data. But if you can get that from the source code, you don't even have to connect. That's even more useful. That's really good.
Yeah. What I really like about it is that, for example, you want to see user, right? And then you want to, first of all, this what it maps, obviously, but then you can see repositories. Obviously, it goes through the user repository to the database, and then you can see that it auto-wired in user detail service implementation. Very good. Then you see the methods and so on and so forth, but you see that there are no controller. Auth controller. So actually, your user gets interaction with the outside world in this controller. So basically, you can trace the path from an entity that represents some state in your database up to the points where it can be changed or where it can be exposed to the users. So you better can understand vertically how what's the data flow, and how it actually can be, how you can actually interact with this piece of data from outside using like REST endpoints or MVC controllers.
Is that the show data flow to here or whatever feature as well?
Not specifically that, but it's a generic feature. But like basically, if you stand on a user, it shows that it has a repository, and repository is a bin. Then bin is auto-wired in other bins, and here you can like see what bins it's auto-wired in users detailed service implementation that is required for Spring Security, right?
The whole universe it applies to. That's awesome.
Yeah. So basically, you can hang the world of Spring by different pieces of it, and whatever file you see here, it's going to be the root for this tree. So, for example, if we go to stock controller, in stock controller, see, it's not a Java object; it's a controller. It plays its own role, and the role is to provide endpoints. Here we can see endpoints. We can also provide a feature to call this endpoint right from here by a single click. Then we also know that it auto-wires stock service, item service, stock mapper, stock service, item service, and stock mapper. Right. For some reason, it goes to stock mapper twice. But we're going to take a look at it. For example, item service, it uses item service, and its turn, item service uses item repository. And its turn, item repository is managing item entity. In its turn, item entity maps ID, name, description, price, SKU, category, manufacturer, and it's referenced by a stock entity. And if we go to a stock entity, it used by in the repository, it has in the repository, and this repository is auto-wired in stock service, which is in its term auto-wired in nothing. So yeah, so it's like stock service is not used from anywhere else, but it auto-wires stock repository. So basically, you can kind of like build a graph of your system inside of your head.
I just actually on LinkedIn, I actually just typed like a mind map for your code just as you said the word graph, and I'm like, okay, yeah, clear, we're on the same page here. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then you just like you just put in the center of this universe, you put whatever object you want. It can be an item mapper, and then you just like you hang your graph on this using this item mapper is its root, and then you can see the universe like this object sees it. Like,
Right.
or every object sees the universe of Spring differently, and you want to understand its point of view.
We have a new question. Is there a way to open a project from the terminal or different two folders and files? You can do idea space period. That'll open a project, right?
Yes, idea space period would open a project.
But I'm not sure about the second question. Like, how do you do a diff? I guess you
Of
just
two
do
folders. No. I can give you now a universal advice. You can go and build your own plugin with Johnny. We tried it quite a few times, and it works brilliantly. You just go and say, like, you know where Johnny gonna get like its end, when you can go to Johnny and say, Johnny, please implement my own Johnny, and then you have your own Johnny. But yeah, this can be definitely developed. But as far as I know, there is no such functionality now in the IntelliJ, just to compare two folders.
That's well. I mean, and obviously you can. I guess you can use the version control support if you've already got existing projects. You can probably do diffs or something like that, right?
That was I understood question in a different manner. I understood it like in a way that these are two folders physically, and not like two different versions of the same folder.
Right. Yeah, I think so. I think that's true. I think you're right. It sounds like the person is just looking to do diff A space B, you know, on the command line. This is so good. So good, my friend. Any other big features before we wind down here? Or should we save some of that?
I think that's it. Okay. You can always go to what's new and actually read anything from here, right?
Oh wow! Let's
find the best feature.
So
find the best feature you like more and tweet about it.
Control Overwatch. Okay, we looked at the pause. Okay, scroll down a little bit more. I'm very curious about all this. Terminal experience, merged main menu, native OS file dialogues on Windows, search functionality and markdown previews, new file creation in the project, new file. Oh, new file, just a regular file as opposed to a whole project. Okay.
No. Kotlin main KTS also was improved. Quick fix in KDocs. There are some Scala support. By the way, when last time did you do Scala?
Well, not recently, but I've been looking at the new language. I mean, it's getting to the point where it's like stable and really concise, and looks nice. I don't know. It's been for me like a number of years, but so it's also a different language. Last time I used it was Scala 2, for example. I've looked at Scala 3, but actually,
this is something I showed. Automatic creation of non-existent Spring data repositories, enhanced user experience for generated HTTP requests. By the way, HTTP Cloud now is available via. You can install it via Homebrew, which is nice.
That HTTP generated that HTTP client thing, super. Like James Ward actually showed that to me, and I'm starting to use it more. It's really good. Nice.
Yeah. But by the way, Anton should show it in his session, because you normally go to the web browser, and he can show how to stay within the same ID. So that was his advantage, and you already know about it. So yeah, I have bad news for Anton.
Well, thanks to James Ward and friends. Okay. Option to export Kafka record. Wow, you can take the distributed log and export it. It's nice.
By the way, Victor Gamov gonna also join our conference in June, and gonna show some tricks with Kafka. Open Tofu, you now can see these gutters for Open Tofu, which is also quite nice. There are like lowercase instructions in Docker files. Not much, but really important. I hated like this caps. It felt like Docker file just like shouting at me. I prefer this lowercase.
Sure, me too.
Yeah, I just think was that just stop shouting at me. New inspection for reliable entry point initialization with exec. Get ready with the image, and so on and so forth. Like I'm telling you, we need to really swipe it through, and it requires some time. I had 40 minutes flight today from Paris to Amsterdam, and
Oh, no.
it was just enough time to read through.
Multi-release jars, improved Bazel support, version control system. You got Gradle daemon tool chains.
Yes, yes.
Oh, so wait, you can derive IntelliJ IDEA, the IntelliJ Java version from the toolchain configured in the build?
Yeah. But starting from a certain Gradle version. So
Okay,
it's limited with the bottom Gradle version where you can start using it, like version control systems. Also, there are quite a few things that worth checking if you want. Option to run tool wins for pre-commit checks. This one I really like. Automatic fetch when adding or modifying Git remote.
Oh, nice. Common user experience stuff. Okay, wow. And then the debugger, we looked at the pausing watches.
Yeah, that's something I would we can also discuss. You know, when in EAP version we removed this model comment window. You remember that was a big model window, and finally it was removed. It was not a default window, and we didn't see lots of users using it. But since we removed it, there was just a crowd of people, you know, like with torches staying like next to our doors, saying like, "Please return it back." And that's a fair point. That's why we have EAPs for it, right? So it returned back, and we slightly refine it to understand how we actually go in a way that we still don't have this window to be modal, but satisfy people in their needs. By the way, let me. No. It's not here. It's not here. It is already released version. I wanted to show something newly brewed here, but yeah, it's a release version. And this is a code quality thing that I told you about, right? This is security analysis. Let's just like see the GIF file. You can actually run it and see like if you have some certain vulnerabilities in your source code.
Kodana, whatever. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Kodana. I say Kodana. I say Kodana.
That makes sense. Okay.
It's a static analysis tool that now enriches IntelliJ IDEA with like quite cool tools. For web development, as I said, there are Angular improvements and better.
Is Kodana available for all the IntelliJ Ultimate users?
This feature.
Okay.
This feature it's powered by Kodana. Kodana brought it to us. But so Kodana is a separate product.
Right. I don't have to buy Kodana, but I get that security analysis. Super useful, actually. Thank you for that. That is free value right there. I'll take that.
Yeah, and sometimes it brings quite interesting things to the table, because you cannot like search through like every line of code, but then it tells you, for example, this is a place for potential vulnerability when, for example, you add parameter just by plus to your query.
Hello, Balance.
From Tanzania. What time is it in Tanzania?
I don't know.
Then for web development, Angular improvements, better repo support, there was someone using WebStorm. So that came to us from WebStorm. Thanks to the WebStorm team for bringing good stuff. Database tools. I told you about my favorite one. By the way, now you can that's important one. Now you can attach schemas for your AI assistant. So, for example, when you ask about database-related question to your AI assistant, you can also attach a schema in existing connection to your in existing data source from your ID. This is load full cell. That's what I told. Now you can fetch entire data cell by cell for large columns. Was that like this is tilde Yeah, it's a small one, but really important one also. Geotype, special types data now can be displayed correctly.
This is all
The ability,
really good
yes,
quality of life stuff. I just love this kind of stuff.
the ability to download drivers from Maven or other custom repositories also very superb. By the way, I'm not sure if you're aware of, but you have had this feature for quite a long time. For example, you want to add your project structure to your AI assistant. Actually, you can, these are instructions, comment symbols, add context from UI. You see this one?
What does that do?
You tap on it, and then you select your UI component. So, for example, you want it to know the project structure. Now it's gonna take into consideration the content from this particular project window, project tool window.
What?
Let's ask something to it. Please tell me where all my controllers are. And it needs to actually search through the files. And if you add your project tool window into the context, it will give you quite neat results. See?
Yeah.
Stock controllers, user controllers, and so on and so forth. And now you can tap on that, and here you go.
Wow. Oh, hey, yeah. I'm with you, Max.
So
I'm with you. This is. It feels like it is time to switch off Copilot. This could, and since I've already got this in my IDE, and it's just one less thing I have to install, and it works really good, really well. Yeah, I think I'm with you on this one.
Yeah, what I like about is you remember somebody asked, or even you asked during this live stream, what's the difference between AI assistant and Junie? Junie is kind of like a partner, so you're developing together a program, and here this is you chatting with the internet and your code base. So you can go and ask your code base a question.
We have a question here. Friend of the show, David Tillis, asks, how does AI quota work and why does it renew every certain number of days?
That's a good question. Let me answer it later because I use like internal quotas and never met the problem is that I ran out of quotas. So yeah, I need to refresh my mind about that, and then gonna come back. You actually can find me on LinkedIn and drop your question directly to me.
Yes.
I'm gonna go. Yes, please do, and I'm gonna go for a vacation for 2 weeks, and it will stay unread. It's not because I'm not polite person. It's because I don't want to forget that there is an unread message in my inbox. And since I'm back, I'm gonna read it and then bring all the information to you.
I love it. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad we got to see you before you went off on vacation. I know you just
I'm
got
on
back.
vacation.
I know you just got back from Devox Friends today, and then you jumped on this call an hour later. I really appreciate that.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure, actually. And I had a chance to escape here to the office. It's very quiet. It's very nice here. So I appreciate you. You gave me that like legit chance to spend another hour in silence, because at home I have like 3 kids, like and they are running all the time and screaming all the time. So yeah, it's another hour of my favorite job, and then it's going to be my another favorite job as a father. I like it also.
Yep. Question from the audience here. For an AI assistant, if I have a subscription for Gemini or ChatGPT or Cloud, can I authenticate with my AI provider and use that instead? Or in lieu of?
For AI assistant, you can now choose, actually, and you can use local providers. But I'm not sure that you can. Yes. And what's really cool is that we have support of Claude Sonnet now, right? So yeah, that's superb.
Oh, man.
This one I prefer the best for coding, honestly. And also Gemini 2.5 Pro with like just endless context.
Yeah. 2 million. 2 million.
2 million.
I think. Yeah. That's the one that just got announced a few weeks ago. That is
And see,
really
it's
good.
experimental.
Yeah.
But as far as I know, you cannot reuse your like existing subscriptions. So these all are hidden under AI Assistant. But yeah, I mean, like new models, you have them, but I'm not sure that you can reuse your existing subscriptions.
Still though, that's even better. You get access to those without having to pay. So what's the? I don't see why that's a problem. That's amazing. Well, my friend, are you on the internet? Do you want to be found? And if so, where can people find you?
LinkedIn is probably the best way to find me
Can you
nowadays.
show us that?
You
What's your LinkedIn URL?
Aleksey Stukalov, exactly like you see me in the live stream. Aleksey Stukalov, LinkedIn. I think you should be able to find me. Yeah, here we go.
There we go. There's my friend right there. Okay, so find this guy. He's amazing. The one, the only, the amazing Aleksey Stukalov.
Thank you very
Hey,
much.
thanks everybody for joining us today. Appreciate you. Thanks you, Aleksey, for taking time out of your busy day to join us here as well. And have a great weekend, everybody. Bye.
Yeah,
Have a
you
great
too.
holiday. Bye.
Bye bye.